You're now diving into the fish tank.
Sitting down with Seth Living, OJ.
Welcome back to the Fish Tank right here on the Miami Dolphins Podcast Network. Seth Levitt, of course, with DJ Preach. I normally like to say the man with the best hands in the podcast, but I might start a fight today. So with my partner, OJ McDuffie. Juice, how you feeling, man?
What's up, Big Seth?
Oh, listen, Juice. So, well, first of all, let's welcome Brandon Marshall, the great Brandon Marshall in the house. Welcome to the tank, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. OG got, he has the better hands than me. Now, if you try to give him like yak, if we're talking about yards after catch, then it might be a little argument. But better hands, I give it to OJ.
There's no argument there. Your yak is way better than my yak, man. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Seth before we even went on. If I'm a DB, I'm not even trying to tackle you, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You running through, running around, running past, your speed and size and everything was truly intimidating for a lot of dudes. So I'm just trying to get the first down, Brandon. That's all I cared about, getting that first down, man.
Well, you made a living doing that. I appreciate it.
It's well documented in your life that, you were going through a lot on and off the field. And of course, we get into a little bit later in this episode, but how much different or how much do you think, the off the field stuff played into you coming to Miami in the trade? And what were your thoughts when you came to Miami and how you thought you would fit in with the squad?
Yeah, so great question. I wish going back, and this is, look, people, I live down here in South Florida. I still follow the guys that's running that organization. There isn't anybody still on the team that I played with, but I follow the Dolphins. But the reality was it wasn't at the time a great fit. And it was both. It was just where we were as an organization at the time and where I was as a player and a person. But I had the opportunity to stay in Denver. They offered me a contract, and Josh McDaniels, that was his first year in Denver. I came off a Pro Bowl year, all pro year. And, the deal that he offered me just didn't make sense. He felt like it was a really good deal. I didn't. And, I had the opportunity to explore other options. So the reason why I was traded is because that was the year where the CBA was funky. So the guys that were supposed to be free agents actually had another year added, right? So those guys like me drafted in the fourth round. So I had to be traded out of Denver, but it was really supposed to be my free agency year. So, we started having conversations with teams, and it came down to, Seattle, Pete Carroll's first year there, and also the Miami Dolphins. And what's funny is the way my agent sold me, well, he was trying to sell me on Seattle, was like, look, right now you're in this phase where, you need to be better as a person, right? You need to be better as a teammate. And Seattle is the best fit for you.
I was going to say, he could have thought South Beach was the way to go.
Yeah, he was like, you can go. Well, that was never my thing. Like, I was never a guy like, I wasn't a big partier and doing things like that. I was extremely focused throughout the season, even the off-season training. It was just like me, my attitude, my emotions, like getting that in check. So my agent tried to sell me on going to the Seattle Seahawks. And he said, you can get lost out there. This is before the Legion of Boom. This is before the Super Bowl. He was like, there's only like 2 or 3 guys in the locker room on the beat. No one's going to cover you. And I was like, that's not where I want to go.
Right.
I'm trying to go enjoy life. So his sales pitch actually backfired on him. And coming to the Dolphins, I really liked what we had on defense. Offensively, we had a running game. We had Ricky Williams. We had Ronnie Brown. And I felt like, Chad Henne could have possibly got it done. But we were 1 or 2 pieces away. And what ended up happening then was I didn't know how to communicate properly. Like, I was a ticking time bomb. So I would sit there and Coach Henne at the time would put in plays. And as a number 1 receiver, they just paid me all this money. And he would put in plays, and he would script these plays to go to the other side. And then he would stand in front of the team and say, well, he would literally say this, Well, sometimes we go out in free agency and we get these guys, and and sometimes the grass ain't greener on the other side. Sometimes we just need to stay within the team. And I would go to Coach Sperano and I'd be like, Coach, what's going on? I said, Brandon, I understand, I see it. Let me deal with it, let me handle it. But I would sit there for like 3-4 weeks dealing with Coach Henney, and there was something there. I never, it was just an awkward relationship. And, then I would just explode. I'll be on the practice field, I'm one-on-one with a guy, Chad Henney, go to the other side. And I'm like, what the hell did you guys bring me here for? You paid me because I made a living beating one-on-one coverage. It's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. We got Z drive on the front side. X has the go route. But the check with me should be a go. Like if you got your X receiver one-on-one, you throw it to him. And he wouldn't. And it just created a lot of friction, just trying to understand why they brought me in and what they wanted me to accomplish. It got in my head. I started dropping balls, and it was just all bad. But in retrospect, like what I should have done better is communicated. We're all interconnected, and the way I, tried to solve problems back there actually hurt the team. Those explosions or arguments with a player or a coach, that's just not the way to do it. So I learned a lot during my time in Miami. I grew up in Miami. The first year was the year where, I would go to Ricky Williams, like, Ricky, you think something's wrong? Do you think I'm like, this the whole, where mental health came in. I was like, do you think I'm bipolar? And Ricky Williams said, no, Brandon, I don't think you're bipolar. I just think you say the things that we all want to say and shouldn't say. I was like, okay, good. So that first year, having Ricky on the team, he made me feel normal, because I'm like, why the hell am I saying this and no one else is? And then the following year, after I went to McLean Hospital and I stayed there for 3 months in an outpatient program, when I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, like emotional disorder, being able to cope and manage your emotions and self-regulate, that second year was phenomenal. Like, I didn't say anything. They thought I was on medicine. Coach Mike Nolan walked up to me one day. He said, Brandon, are you on medicine?
Wow.
I said, no, I'm gazing right now. I'm focusing on concentration. And I didn't say much, but they were so focused on that first year that when we decided to bring in, Ryan Tannehill, they knew they was going to draft a young guy. They thought I was going to be disruptive. But I was actually a Saint that second year. That's when we launched the foundation. That's when, but they didn't know it was real. It was only 1 year. They didn't know what was going on.
Right.
So they kind of got freaked out because I sat down with them. And I know I'm a little long here, but it's kind of like my first time diving into this conversation like that. This whole phase of my life as far as the Miami Dolphins and what transpired on the field and in his meeting room. But they bring in a new regime. And I remember sitting down with Coach Sherman. Is it Sherman or Sherman? I don't even know his name. Sherman.
Mike Sherman, yep.
Yeah, Mike Sherman. That guy. So I'm sitting down with Coach Sherman.
That's the one.
That guy, I love it.
He's like talking to me about, what was going on and, and just trying to get to know me a little bit. And I just looked at him because I was all about business. I was like, look, Coach, I get that you guys are excited and you guys are here and you think things are going to change overnight, but I need to know what's the plan. Like last year, we started the season 0-6. That sucked. And that's the only thing that I feel right now is how that transpired last year. So what are we going to do differently? So I think I was a little too strong in that first meeting because they were like, we can't deal with this guy.
Yeah,
I just remember
not that group
like,
for sure.
Yeah, so that was the story. I know I was long-winded there, but the Miami Dolphins situation, it helped me grow up. It helped me face my weaknesses, and I'm a better man for it.
You took issue with Vontae, and it wasn't pretty. So tell us what happened, man.
Yeah, this is the perfect example, man. It's like being consistent, understanding leadership, understanding how to manage these emotions. So we're losing. We're 0-6. We're getting crushed. And at this time, so we're getting crushed. And part of it is we had these young guys on the team that didn't know how to be pros. And Vontae, and this is documented, right? So I'm not telling the story that it's not out there. But Vontae was late. Vontae was a bit of a partier when he first got in the league, so he would show up late at times. But we're 0-6. So it got to a point where Stu, head of security, would have to go get Vontae. So there's one Saturday, we have a walkthrough, get ready for a game. We're 0-6. No Vontae. Stu goes and gets Vontae. He's not answering his phone. He's not answering his door. He's beating down the door. Literally had to have the front desk person let him in. Goes in. Vontae's passed out. Wakes Vontae up, brings him in. Vontae comes in. He's still under the influence. So he's walking around the locker room in the facility, and he's just obnoxious. Forget that fine. F that fine. I don't give a damn about that fine. I'm like, bro. And he was like I took him under my wing a little bit. You know, we used to compete a lot, and he used to call me big bro. And I'm like, I was like, Vontae, chill. Like, just be quiet. You know, go sober up. And he just kept going. I said, Vontae, you're being disruptive to the locker room, bro. Like, it's not cool. You're already late. Just keep your mouth shut. So there was a series of probably 4 or 5 back and forths of me and him. And I'm like, yo, just be quiet. Chill, man. We're losing. We're 0-6. You're late. Shut up. So he's like, all right, big bro, I got it. So we go out to the bubble. And we're standing there. Well, he goes out there. The defensive is out there. He has a bunch of guys around him. And I walk in. We're getting ready for this walkthrough. And he's, oh, my brother just got paid. I don't give a damn about the fine. He's going to pay it for me. And I just walked up to him and I had a football in my hand. I said, bro, didn't I tell you to be quiet? Like you having this conversation in front of the whole team? And he mouthed off at me and I just mushed him with the football. And then I walked out. I looked at the coaches because I was upset with the coach. I'm like, this is why we're 0-6. You guys are allowing him to continue to show up late. And then also, no one told him to shut up. Like, I'm the only one telling him to shut up. No one sent him home. And I just, and then, so here's the part where OG JT, I love JT. He's one of my all-time favorite teammates. Just awesome. So anyways, I storm out the bubble and I say, you know what, I'm going home. If y'all don't want to play, if y'all, this is what y'all want to do, I'm out. It's a waste of time. So I go and I'm literally on the way home. I'm about to jump in my car and go home. JT comes in. JT's like, Brandon, you are right, but you cannot go home.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, I love it.
He said, B, relax, calm down, but you come back in here. So he talked me off the ledge.